then you got the other side of the story, which is your powerlifting component and your power component of how your power is affected by your endurance. And we've talked about that throughout, which is that your strength and power will decline a little bit. But as you said, if you're doing all the powerlifting, all the strength training, and then all you have to do is dial back your endurance a little bit, you're going to have this big increase in strength. I'll give you an example that from our very early work, almost 15 plus years ago, when I was in Scotland at University of Dundee, I was doing this work with the English Institute of Sport, and I was advising the nutritionists, and we were talking about this. At the time, we thought it was all about the mTOR AMP kinase switch, and that AMP kinase is turning off mTOR, so it's going to affect muscle growth. And at the time, I had a nutritionist from the swim team who had an athlete who was a sprint swimmer, and his coach, and they were trying to gain muscle mass in the upper body, and they'd been working at it for 9 months, and he dialed in the nutrition, and they just couldn't increase muscle mass in the upper body. And this is a national level swimmer, a good swimmer. And so what he did is he took back the little handouts that I gave that talked about how AMP kinase can block mTOR, and he said, "Coach, when you have the swimmer lifting these 3 sessions a week, you have him lift, and then you have him get right back into the pool immediately after the lift. And this work would suggest that you shouldn't be doing that." So all they did was they took out the 3 sessions immediately following the strength training. And within about a month and a half, he had added 2 to 3 kilos of upper body muscle mass. And over the next 3 to 4 years, he had become an Olympic finalist. So he'd gone from a national level swimmer to an Olympic finalist simply by doing these small changes that extend the signal a little bit. This contributes to it. He also was a great athlete who was very determined, all of those other things. But the way that we tried to support him with sports science was to say, if we just take out these sessions that are immediately following the strength work, we're going to do all the rest of the sessions, but let's just take out those 3. We saw this really big increase in muscle mass very quickly. And again, as a result, he's able to perform at a higher level. You see the same thing with elite rowers. You see the same thing in people who are destined for that concurrent training. Elite rowers are, the guys are 6'6", 245, 250 pounds. They're rowing over 20 hours a week. That's a really hard thing to do, 20 hours of training while maintaining endurance training, while maintaining 240-pound big muscle mass. Their performance is directly related to their body weight. The bigger the body weight, the better their performance. So that tells us we need to do those things that we are targeting with concurrent training to maximize their body weight so they can maximize their performance.